Welcome to Vegan Music Maker News with your host, Gino Murillo. Hola! Hi everyone! Gino Murillo here. It's been a whole month since we last met here like in this way. And once again, I'm here to report the monthly music celebration summary. And this one, of course, is for August. And August, man, it sure didn't disappoint. We had amazing artists. I mean, seriously amazing. At the end of this video, once I post it, as soon as I can, I'm going to put all the links to their music in the comments section below, whereby it will be your opportunity to really take a good look, a real focused look at each one. It's so good when you do it that way and really focus and appreciate the artistry. And then also you can take those links one by one, all of them, some of them, and post them on your page. And just make a small mention that this is one of your fellow members and vegan music makers here on Facebook. So maybe we'll attract some more people. But the main impetus is to support one another. Please take some time and do this. I would really appreciate it. I know I will be posting all of them later on today. So without further ado, I think we need to get in here. Oh, lest I forget. All of you, every one of you, are award winners. You're all winners, you're all wonderful. And to prove it, I purchased, at great cost to me, this tremendous solid gold trophy. Oh my God, look! All of you are most deserving of this. And this will be in a glass case, well protected from the elements and climate, here in Gino Murillo Museum in my apartment. And of course, if you're ever in town, you can come by and take a look, take selfies with it, whatever you want. But this is yours in spirit. Just know that. All right, so now let's go because we have a lot to cover here. So stay with me, okay? So first of all, we had category 1, and we had 2 people submit for this, both first time in the event. And I love it when people post for the first time, and I hope that that's a sign of things to come that you'll keep posting in our music celebration. So first we have Shahin, and she submitted a song called Move the Way You Like, and also put this in the category 7 for video. So I'm going to talk about both of them, and in each case, if they submitted a video, I will talk about it in the category that I'm covering. So she writes about this song, the message behind my song, Move the Way You Like, which is from her EP Still Alive, is for everyone who likes to dance. No matter how old you are, there is no right or wrong way to dance. Dance and move the way that you like, and above all, don't worry what other people think. You should have been my life coach, Shahin, when I was a teenager in high school. So, like, I can't even get out on the floor. Mr. Wallflower here. Eventually I became like a stellar star in the disco days under those disco balls. But anyway, that aside, Shahin's video itself is very cute indeed, and, you know, makes you want to move. And it's a really nicely written and well-performed song, Shahin. Thank you very much for submitting it. Next up, we have Gemma Haley, and she submitted a song called Tell Your Brother I'm Crazy. Now, this was a simple folk guitar, classic singer-songwriter song, no holds barred, unrequited love and romance and giving to another individual, with very soulful singing. Gemma, I love this kind of music, and this harkens to my days, let's say the early 70s, when I would just sit and listen to the stereo and play Joni Mitchell over and over again as she talked about her pain and angst and longing for love and all of this. And many people were in the same boat with me on that. And this harkens back to that day, and it's a timeless genre, honestly. So Gemma, thank you so much for doing this. And please, again, both of you, Shahin and Gemma, do submit again. Love you guys very much. So let's move to category 2 now. And this is for conscious activism music. So we have 3 submittees in this one. And first I'd like to start with Adele Sanders. Now Adele, or Edel, I'm sorry, I don't know if I got your name right. I'll say Adele for now. I know there's an E on the end of Adele. Maybe it's Edel. Anyway, She submitted a cover of a Michael Jackson song, which was 1995 when he put it out, called Earth Song. And just a little bit on this, I'm sorry, on Michael's thing, was really the first song he did that was overtly dealt with the environment and animal welfare. And Adele upped the ante in the lyrics by emphasizing the animal welfare more, animal rights really more. On stage, Adele, in the video that you submitted, you are a commanding performer. You looked great in that red dress, I must say, and standing by that beautiful grand piano with the excellent piano player you had. And you commanded the stage, and you did it so beautifully, and you kind of put your own spin on this song. And I'm really glad that you chose this song. It does lead to questions and meanings for the future of life on the planet. It really does. So well done, and thank you for joining us. And again, please submit again in the future. Next up is Michael Prickell, and he submitted a song called Vegan Song, which he performed live, and also the video is live, from Vegan Mania in Vienna in 2018. So Michael is a regular submitter to the celebration, and I would be missing him if he didn't. I'm so glad that he did. For me, this was a very catchy song. And again, I love the keyboards and a little bit of harmony you put in there, all couched in a solid and uplifting message to be vegan. And we can't get enough of that, of course. While I was listening, I wanted to sing along and feel good to hear this lovely anthem. Michael, you are a very talented songwriter. You really are. And especially in the genre that you perform your music in. I still feel shades of Todd Rundgren in his music a little bit, and this time also I had a little bit of a feel of Laura Nyro when she put out her uplifting melodies. I wish I could have been at Vegan Mania to see you there and participate in that whole fair, whatever it was. It sounds great in Vienna. Of course, I've never been there. It'd be lovely to be there. But Michael, thank you once again. I appreciate it for submitting. So now we'll go to category 3, which is original compositions. Our first up is Gabriel Casas, and he submitted a song called I'm Sorry. I believe, if I remember right, that's from 2018 on the video. This is simply warm and lovely. For some reason, I feel like it's a summer song, and it's perfect that you submitted it now. It's a story of a man saying he's sorry for hurting his loved one. It's steeped in romance and honesty, and I don't know how anyone could refuse this apology, quite honestly. I'm a fan of classic film, and there's always, very often, a kind of a Romeo and Juliet type of thing going on with it, with some of these films, and I had this fantasy that there was Gabriel on the ground with his keyboards, looking up at the window above, and he throws a little stone against the window, and a woman comes, and she looks out like, what's this? And then she sees him performing, and of course, by the end of the performance, she melts and forgives Gabriel. So there it is. I don't know if that's the reaction you wanted, Gabriel, but that's what it kind of it gave me. And Gabriel is always putting out wonderful music with his own brand of singing and so forth, and I love it. If you're friends with him on Facebook, you'll see that he's also a piano instructor, in case you're interested, and also does some really great renditions of his short renditions in his car of his music. Sometimes he plays classical music for all of us, which he's a wonderful piano player, of course, and that's a whole different genre, of course. And sometimes he's with his baby girl in front of the keyboard, and she's starting to hit the notes. So do we see a future star there? Maybe. So she certainly got a good teacher. Thank you, Gabriel. Next up is the Repressions with Barbara and Nate, and they put in a song called Thank You, Charlotte Bronte. Once again, I love it, love it, love it. The playing on the guitar, Nate, is that kind of playing that always sings to me, and it's very catchy, and it's definitely a head bobber. You can't not bob your head. And of course, with lovely singing by Barbara, and Barbara also, those little clicker things, they're addictive to me. Every time you did the click, you do 2 clicks, and then you would do 3 clicks. So don't think that got by me. And you would do it periodically through the song. And sometimes I just wanted to add more. And so when I wanted to, I would go like that in my head. Anyway, it's a great song because it's, speaking to history, which I love history and learning more about it. And Charlotte Bronte, just to give you some insight in case you don't know, was an English novelist best known for her very famous book in 1847, Jane Eyre. And it was the story of an independent young governess who overcomes hardships while remaining true to her principles. It blended moral realism with Gothic elements, and she wrote many other novels. But the lyrics on Charlotte, it doesn't stop there with just Charlotte. It goes on to other female authors in history up to more modern times. And of course, way back in the day, women literally had to use pen names and not their real name, and so that the book would sell and everything, because, how can women write? And besides, they belong at home as homemakers. That's all they can do. So yeah, thank you, Charlotte Bronte. Thank you, the Repressions. Thank you to all the wonderful female authors that we have had throughout history and that I read even today. So thank you. Great song. Next up is Michael Blow, the founder of VMM here. And for the second month in a row, he submitted something. And also that was in the video category. And the song is called Time for Cuttin' Loose. And basically, he wrote a long piece here, which I want to pare it down a little bit because of time. I want to keep you here watching me. But he basically wrote about a period of his life where he was more carefree and having fun and all of this good stuff up in the San Francisco Bay Area. But he wanted to share it because he really feels that we need to be okay with getting out of our muck and making it okay to have fun and go out and do things. We should always make time for that. And so he was speaking to that in the song. And to amp it up in the video, he's singing. First of all, his singing is perfect for this song. This young man who, a masculine guy, and he's out doing all this fun stuff and, enjoying life. And he's like, what is he doing at the beginning? He's right away, as soon as the video starts, he's on a roller coaster with a friend, and he's screaming as the roller coaster is going up and down, and of course taking footage of him and his friend. And then right after that, he's swimming in rapids, and then after that, he's freaky bungee jumping. I thought I knew Michael, but the more I know him, the less I know him. I mean, it's just so much to know. What a rich life he's had in a relatively short period of time on this planet. So thank you, Michael. That was a great and fun song, and good job all over the place. Next up is Scarlet Rescue, who did this is their first entry as well. And the song is called Barbecue Protest, and that's also in the Category 7 video, a live version of their performance. It's a great song by this band from Phoenix. And to me, it expresses two things: the frustration of being invited by friends when you're a vegan to a carnist barbecue, and the inviter's complete lack of wanting to know anything about what they're serving for the food. And it also brings to light yet again the horror we put animals through for taste pleasures. I did meet the lead singer Lisa Barca here in San Diego at an event, and recently have run into Dylan Ewell-Pape, who submitted this video. He's a roommate of a very good friend of mine down in Phoenix. And but to drive home the meaning of this song so you get the feel of what I'm talking about here and the angst that we feel as vegans when we have these events that people invite us to. I'll go through the lyrics quickly. I've been on the outside for a long time, which makes me less concerned about your approval. If my vision meets with your derision, you'll be flagged for removal. 'Cause I don't mind walking on my own, and I don't mind deleting you from my phone. We're all born and die alone anyway, like the beings we killed for food today. So I don't want to go to the barbecue. I don't want to go, 'cause it makes me blue. Now that you know, are we still friends? Sorry I can't bend. Before you unfollow me, will you hear what I have to say? There's nothing more hollow, see, than looking the other way. You don't want to hear unpopular opinions, and I don't have a megaphone or minions. I make nice. Pretend it doesn't bother me, but that's another me. The real one says, I don't want to go to the barbecue. I don't want to go because it makes me blue. Now that you know, are we still friends? And I don't mind finally taking a stand. Won't find me in a hamburglar land, not by my dollar or my hand. No, I don't want to go to the barbecue. I still want to go in a year or two. I don't want to go to the barbecue. I ain't going to show no matter what you do. Now that you know, are we still friends or is this the end? I think we've all struggled with this. So thank you, Scarlet Rescue. And hopefully you'll submit more in the future. So let's move now right away to category 4. We need to move along here. That's for alternative expression, where you can submit something that could be a comedy piece, spoken word, lyrics, choreography pieces, poems, and so forth. And for August, I added another example for short story films. So that's also available in August. The lone submitter this time was our member Rafael Lopez, with a music background by his brother Noel Lopez. Excellent music. And it's a reading, a book trailer. And this was also in category 7, which was a very powerful video. I'll get to that in a minute. So Noel writes, it's a peaceful and reverent wanderer rests by a tree in a forest to read. Poet Rafael Lopez recites the tides of travel from his book A World of Words in this thoughtful author reading filmed at Mount Laguna, California. The award-winning collection of verse takes place in the fictional world of Earth, where a poet named Kekith has gathered his favorite poems by various individuals. All of these writers live in the imagination of the book's actual creator, Rafael. The book trailer features an original composition by Rafael's brother, Noel, and side note, Lori Lopez was a film editor on the video. I saw that in the credits. Altogether, this family has a website called fairyflyentertainment.com. So check it out, fairyflyentertainment.com. See what they're all up to. So I have to say that the video, the poem, the reading, and the music was top-notch all the way. It was so moving and deep in a lovely setting. Lopez family, I am so grateful for you guys being on the planet. And I'm so glad we created this alternative expression category so you could share this with us. So anyone watching this show, please make sure you do catch this link when I put it below, and also all of the wonderful artists that I am featuring here. So let's move on to the next artist and category. So the next category is instrumentals. And we have 2 entries here. One is, the first one I'll talk about is 1Q94, and they did a cover of Watermelon Man by Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock had, the first rendition was a hardcore bebop from way back. The one I am familiar with is from his funked up version in 1973 from his Headhunters album. And there have been other versions too that have done quite well. With the Headhunters, they obviously know music if they know this, and they start off with I wanted to do the shimmy kind of thing while they were playing, and then it went into much more hardcore, more punkish, and they are, after all, a vegan metal band from Thailand. So man, they play so well. And also Aldo, who submitted it for the band, I get this really good vibe about this guy, in a loving way. He's just really wants to support vegan music makers and us administrators and all of you, and he wants to help wherever he can, and I just love that. So we're so grateful to have you in our celebration again, 1Q94. So the video is unique, and they took Watermelon Man as literal, because it is an instrumental, so they can do whatever they want. So, it starts off with a man lying in bed, and he has a hollowed out watermelon for his head, and, with eyes cut out and then a big happy smile on it. And he gets up out of bed and he goes out into society, and he's very carefree and just enjoying his day. Sometimes he talks to people and everything. And, I think he was in a train or subway or something, and there was this one woman who was there that was just, trying to hold back her laughter. And it was just funny all the way through. I loved it. This is my humor. I think you copied my humor. You're going to have to pay me royalties, but I love that kind of thing. So altogether, fantastic submission. Thank you, 1Q94. And then the second individual in the instrumentals is Michael Kaufner, who Michael is always participating in our celebration, and I can't tell you how grateful I am. Michael plays intimate, beautiful piano. He's so good. This time, he covered an intimate song called Blue by Joni Mitchell, and that's from the Joni Mitchell album of 1971. And of course, you had me right there with Joni, right? So he says, this is my piano cover of the version from the original songbook, which came out for the album with a number of additions by me. The brief opaque overlay at the beginning and end came from Joni's performance of her song Woodstock in 1970. So, Michael, you just didn't fail in this cover once again, and I hope you're going to keep submitting. Thank you so much. So now we move on to our last category. Like I said, category 7, which was videos, I've pretty much covered as we've gone along. But category 6 is interpretations. So we have 3 people to cover. And the first one is Sophie Fletcher, our wonderful Australian musician. And she did Dancing Barefoot and also had this in the video category. It's a 1979 song by legendary female rocker Patti Smith. She emphasized in the lyrics in her submission this: we ran and danced across the bare earth barefoot with our empowered hearts beating to the harmonies of nature. All the flowers burst apart in ecstasy when all the stars came out. Embrace the dance as if you're lover. Dance barefoot and we will discover. Lovely, warm, deep, as Sophia always is. She's such a soulful person in her music and even in her posts on Facebook. She's just talks so eloquently and beautifully. This song also had a really great groove, and I love the bass line in particular. Obviously, Sophia's singing is always adept and perfect for the song. It's great. I love your singing. And you're just multi-talented in a number of ways, Sophia. You know, I'm going to guess here. Now, the video had a woman dancing on a stage by herself and doing all this interpretive dance, which was perfect for the song. I'm going to guess it was a little dark, but I couldn't tell 100% if this was you, Sophia, or not. So if it was you or if it wasn't you, it was beautiful. Maybe you can tell us in the comments later if it was you or not. So thank you once again, Sophia. Next we move on to De Vegan crooner Jardin, also known as David Jardin, also known as Dave to me. He's one of my best friends, and he's an animal liberationist as well as a musician, a crooner, an award-winning filmmaker. He's all these things in New York City. And he covered the song, which he calls Laissez les bêtes seules, which means don't mess with animals. And this is music by Serge Gainsbourg, a French singer-songwriter who passed away in 1992. And the original song was titled Laissez tomber les filles, which means roughly leave the girls alone. And it was a hit for a pop star back then in France in 1964, and was a warning to young men not to womanize and mess with girls' emotions. Well, Dave changed the lyrics, brilliantly edited it with wonderful video. I mean, so creative. All of his videos are. He put his element of humor in there as well, as he always does. Very imaginative concept for a hugely important issue, the exploitation of our dear animal friends. To leave them, what? Alone! All right. Dave, thank you. And also, you know, look for Dave. He has a site, a Facebook page called Celebrating Art as well. You might look that up and get on that page, and he has a lot of his videos on there as well. Not to mention YouTube, David Jardin on YouTube. He just released a brand new video, which is so good. It's a complete story and followed by a song, and he edited it, and he's in it, and he does everything in it. Come on, look it up. It's on Facebook, and if you're not a friend of De Vegan crooner Jardin, friend him. Last but not least, we have the wonderful vocalist Susan Andrea Warmington, and she did a cover of the song Believe. And this song, of course, was originally recorded by Cher, and it was in 1998. Of course, it was a huge hit, and I'm sure you can probably hear it in your head because it was all over the place for a long time. However, my words for Susan's rendition: captivating, enchanting, spellbinding, and then a term I'll say here: she made this song her own. She slowed down the melody and gave it a lot more depth, a lot more soul, a lot more feeling. And she has a video with it that her presence and assuredness and her confidence in the song was all there. She's really a professional. And it's not often that I'm so fully engaged with a song and I hung on every note, every nuance, and on her expressions that matched it all. Susan, thank you. And I really want to see a lot more of your work and hear a lot more of your work, obviously. One note on Susan: she is a vocal instructor in New Orleans, gives online classes, and guess what? Me, the very famous and extremely popular Gino, am soon to take lessons with her. Huh? What? Look out, everyone. I'm going to be the best singer in the entire United States, second to Susan. All right. So that's it. That's everybody. Check out the links as I mentioned, share them as I mentioned. I'll get them up as soon as I can. And once again, remember, yes, this is your award. This month, this award goes to Susan Andrea Warmington, the vegan crooner Jardin, Sophie Fletcher, Michael Kaufner, 1Q94, Rafael and Noel Lopez, Scarlet Rescue, Michael Blow, the Repressions Barbara and Nate, Gabriel Casas, Michael Prickell, Gino Murillo, Adele Sanders, Gemma Haley, and Shahin. Yay! Thanks, everyone. Take care. See you in August at the next celebration. We're launching it in a day or two. All right. Bye now.